Hey guys, it's Michael, and today I'm here to do my Junetopicathon wrap up. At first I was doing my, oh my gosh, I have all these books due by the end of this week and I gotta return to the library because I can't renew them. But then I come to figure out, if you watched the previous vlog, that they were all female authors, so that was basically my theme, which were all female authors. So let's get started, because there's a few books that I read. Using my trusty dandy notebook. The first one that I finished for the readathon, I had like maybe a little bit of 100 pages left for it, and that was How It Went Down by Tekla Magoon. So this book is about, if it starts to sound really familiar, trust me, you're not going crazy, but this book is about Tyreek, who is a young African-American man who basically gets shot by Franklin, a white guy. And basically it goes from there. Magoon basically, I think I read it somewhere when I was looking up her biography, I think it was in the back of the book or something like that. It's about basically current events that she was experiencing, that was happening when she wrote the book. It's really interesting, to say the least. The topic, well, I think was like, I think you should read this because it is really interesting, like, it really is. But the writing and the characters was okay. Like, after that, I thought it was okay. This book takes different perspectives that basically surrounds Tariq's point of view. So you don't get Tyreek's point of view because, well, yeah, because of what happens with him. But you basically get all points of view of the people that was there during the shooting, and then all the people that's really affected by it. The highlight of this novel is basically Jasmine, who is Tyreek's little sister, because when it goes to her chapter, it goes into this verse form that I really enjoy. I thought that was the highlight of the book. I just really enjoyed her chapters overall. The thing about this book was that it took me longer to read because after halfway through the book, I felt like it started to lose momentum, essentially, because during the first half, like especially the beginning, it's really riveting in the way that it's set up. When he gets shot, that as you read along the chapters, you're seeing the shooting happening in different perspectives. So it's just really interesting. And I also do like how, as you go along, you see how the characters are dealing with this. There is one side plot in this, if it's based on a true person or if it's meant to be some sort of symbolism. It probably is meant to be some sort of symbolism, but the story between the pastor and Kimberly, I thought that was really weird. Yeah, I don't know if it was based on a true person. It might be. I just might be ignorant of the topic, but I just thought it was like, okay. But I really did like this book. I think you should read it. It's one of those books that basically about dealing with current topics in the media right now, so you should definitely read it. I gave it a 3 out of 5. I think it was a good read. The next book that I read, I lost my place, Sarah's Keys by Tatiana Derone, read by Polly Stone. I really like this book, actually. What I really like about it was the pacing. It was really good. From the beginning, I couldn't stop listening to it. Like, I literally couldn't stop. Like, it was just, I think I read this in 2 days. Listened to it in 2 days. It was just really good. First off, the narrator for the audiobook, dealing wise, the narrator was really good. She conveyed everything really well. This takes place with two perspectives. Sarah, where it's near with the Holocaust, and Julia in modern day. I think it was modern day. It was 2002. Modern day. So you're both going back and forth between these two characters, and eventually you do start to see how they get connected, and then it goes from there. It was just so riveting, and I couldn't stop listening to it. Now, I felt like it goes downhill after we find what happens, essentially what goes down, because there's a point where I was just like, okay, like, I felt like the last parts could have been slimmer down just a little bit, because I kind of started to, it started to wane, like, okay, I got it. But It was just really riveting in the beginning. And for some odd reason, I really couldn't connect with Julia. Usually I can connect with any character, at least a little speck of it, or understand where you're coming from. Hasbro. This one I was just like, okay, Julia, okay. I don't know if it was me, the revelation that you get. I mean, it was shocking, but it wasn't like mind-boggling, like mind-bending, which I thought it was going to be. Like, I was like, because I kept thinking the whole time, I was like, oh my gosh, what if Sari was her daughter? Like, something happened like that. I was just like, oh my gosh, what if she is? Like, you just never know. And at the end of the day, it was just like, okay. Yeah. I gave it 4 stars out of 5. I thought it was an enjoyable read anyway. The next one that I read, Lumberjanes, volumes 1 through 9 by Noelle Stevenson, Grace Ellis, and Brooke A. Allen. Oh my gosh, I thought this was fantastic actually. I love this comic book series. I read this on Scrib and volumes 10 through the current one. I think I'll have to go through my, they don't have it on there, but I think it's like really current. So I can probably buy it at my local comic book store. This is a really good comic book series. My favorite part, like I said during part of my vlogs, was definitely the art style. I loved it. It's very cartoony, but just really nicely detailed. It's just beautiful. It's a beautiful comic book, and I really liked it. At first though, the first few issues, I was just like issues 1, 2, 3, I was like, oh, okay. And then there's a point when it finally starts to like snowball and get really going, and you're seeing where the story is going. That's when it gets really good. I was like, wow, what is going on? I'm really intrigued. I really like the characters. Each one of them is really unique, and I just like how each one of them essentially has some sort of like cool thing that they can do. I just really liked it. I gave it 4 stars out of 5. I highly recommend this graphic novel. I thought it was fantastic. It's really good. Oh, and issue 9 is one of those, I don't know what the technical term for it is. It's basically where, you know, it's like a side story. I was gonna call it an OVA, but I don't know. It's basically a side story, and I thought that issue alone was really good, because the art style changes and they're just goofing around, and I really like that part. It just was really nice, especially when the art style starts changing. It's really good. The next one that I read was The Lowland by Jhumpa Lahiri. I started listening to this book because I heard a lot, and when I say a lot, I mean a lot of good things about Lahiri. I heard as an author, she's just fantastic. At this point, I am completely on board. I can really, really see how people love her essentially. This book was fantastic. Yeah, this book was really good. Now, I did see after I read the book, other reviews that this wasn't her best work compared to her other ones, and I can kind of see it because it does have flaws, like storytelling wise. It wasn't as, I don't know if it was the structure or pacing, but it wasn't as like consistent. It wasn't consistent basically. Oh my gosh, her writing was really good. Oh my gosh, it was just really, really nice. But this story is about basically messy family drama, and I loved it. But not only that, but it also talks about family traditions, which I can really relate to, especially this was Indian family traditions, but overall just basically Asian family traditions, and it was so interesting. The character development in this is really nice because at the end, I completely understood who these characters were, and the writing definitely elevates this novel. I thought it was fantastic. I gave that 4 stars out of 5. Yeah, the next book that I read was The Turner House by Angela Flournoy. Again, another messy family drama. But this one, if you watched the vlog, you know how hard it was for me to finish this, which was really weird because in the beginning I was enjoying it, and then I don't know what it was, but there was something in the novel I just couldn't. It's like I had to force myself to finish it, and it was weird because I was enjoying it, but then for some odd reason I didn't want to, I just kind of wanted to stop reading it. I don't know why. This is basically a family saga about the Turner household and essentially what they're gonna do with their mom's house, and you get different perspectives from all different sides of the family, from like the mother and father, Francis and Alice, basically the whole family, except now they had 12 kids. So I was like, when I started reading this, I was like, holy crap, do I have to keep up with 12 characters? Which, now come to think about it, wouldn't be so hard because on Game of Thrones there's like a million characters, so 12 shouldn't be a problem. But here it was actually really easy to keep track of who was who, surprisingly. You only get like 5 perspectives out of probably all of them, but it's really easy to keep track of who's who, especially when they're talking to each other, so that was really good. Flournoy really does do a good job of keeping the reader on track of who's who and what they do, who they are, that type of thing. The thing about this was, I felt as though, like, while it was a great family saga, it didn't have that je ne sais quoi about it that usually surpasses family drama. Like, it didn't have that something that made it stand out, if that made any sense. I mean, the writing was, the writing was pretty decent, it was pretty good. It was missing something. While I think it was good, I don't think it was great. I love reading family dramas, especially the messy ones. There was just something about it, I just didn't think that it was, I don't know what it was, and I'm not a connoisseur. Anyways, next, the final book that I read for the readathon was An Amber in the Ashes by Sabata Here, read by Fiona Hardington and Steve West. Okay, let me talk about this book. I'm gonna put my book down. You know why I read this book, and the reason why, in case you don't know, is because it is really hyped. I mean, hyped. And if you've been watching this channel, you know I fall into hype trains all the time, and most of the time I don't want to get off the next stop. I don't want to go on to the next novel. Yeah, this novel, okay, I'm gonna break it down for you. I think the reason why I loved hype books is I was just thinking about it, like, actually, like, the past few, like, yesterday, I was like, why am I reading this? Like, why am I listening to this? Because it is hyped, and I think the reason why, oh my god, I'm spitting everywhere. The reason why I think I love reading hype books is because since I'm a video gamer, video games is based on one thing. One is nostalgia. I mean, who doesn't love a good remake? Final Fantasy VII, but also hype. Like, video games are known for hype. Like, we as video gamers love to hype stuff up. Like, we love to hype stuff up. But most of the time with books, especially some of the super hyped ones, for some odd reason, I don't know what it is. So I wanted to read this because of the hype, and at the end, when I finished the ending, I was just like, after I closed the novel, you know what, I thought it was okay. Does it merit all the hype that it's getting? That's another question to answer, and I don't know if I'm the person to ask that, because I'm gonna say no. Yeah, let's talk about this book, actually. Let's talk about this. First off, let's talk about, because I'm gonna talk about the writing throughout this thing, because the writing, it was missing one thing, and I'm gonna get to that. So this book has 2 different perspectives, once again. The first perspective that we have is Laia, who is a slave, and Elias, who is like a soldier. Essentially, stuff goes down, and Laia has to save her brother, essentially, by going undercover. Yeah, she has to go undercover to try to save her brother, and Elias is a soldier who wants to desert because he doesn't believe in the system that he's in. And so that's where the setup goes. Now let me tell you what I really did like about this novel is the pacing. The pacing is really fast. Because of the pacing, it makes you want to keep reading, and so the way things are set up, it is really nice on that part. Now, the writing has to do a lot about that, but also the writing is really good at expressing what the character feels as. And it uses a lot of like similes and just comparisons on how the character is feeling, so you really do know how these characters are feeling when something happens, and it's really good on that part. And the political intrigue of this is really good. I actually enjoyed that part of it, because there's this whole system. Low-key, it was kind of like Hunger Game-ish, almost. Oh yeah, I hate to say it, but I don't want to compare it to another book, but it has that vibe, especially with Elias, because they have to do these trials. So low-key it's kind of like Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, but actually, yeah, it is. Yeah, forget the Hunger Games. Yeah, anyways, no comparison. So there's that. Now, let me tell you what I was craving from this book. I was craving description. Description in the sense that I wanted to see, I wanted to hear, I wanted to smell this world. Because the writing is really good in the sense that I understood how the character was feeling, but I didn't understand what they were sensing or touching and feeling. Like, okay, so they go to this festival, right? This moon festival. This is when like this thought just like randomly hit me. I was like, you know what I want? I want to describe their clothes. Like, what are they wearing? What are their colors? Like, what are the decorations for this festival? Are people, like, what are they wearing? Like, I wanted to see it. And I don't know if it was because I was listening to the audiobook and I was doing things while listening to the audiobook, so maybe I missed it or something. Yeah, like, maybe that was just me, but I just wanted more visualizations of the world. I also have a problem with the ending. I don't know if it's because I know the history of it. Supposedly this was supposed to be a standalone. Now if she wrote this with a standalone in mind, it has no satisfying ending. At the end I was just like, oh, okay, like, there was a lot of questions left. Now that you know it's supposed to be a sequel, I mean, you can kind of see like, okay, so she left on a cliffhanger-ish, kinda, but I feel like a good cliffhanger, like, it's basically like the carrot dangling in front of you, but I felt like the carrot was still in the store. Like, it wasn't there. Like, I had to actually go to the store to see it. That's how I felt. And this book was long. This book was long. It was like 16 hours on audiobook. The audiobook, though, performance-wise was great. Especially the two narrators, they were really good. Overall, I just felt like it just needed more descriptions, especially on the world. I just wanted to see more of it. And the ending, I just wasn't satisfied enough. I don't know whether to go on or just stop reading the series. I might just go on just to be on the same train as everybody else, but yeah, I gave it what? Yeah, I gave it 3.5 out of 5. Yeah, you know what? I think it was a good book. Yeah, 3.5 out of 5. I think it's still good. Should you read it? I don't know. That's up to you. So, yeah. Overall, I think I did really great for the readathon. I read, let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Only 6 books. No, but I think that's still pretty good, especially because I had a lot, I was doing stuff during the week, especially during the weekend. There was a lot of stuff going on. And Lumberjanes was like 9 volumes. Yeah, I think I did really good. 5 books I started and finished during the readathon, so yeah. I started reading also Grotesque by Natsuo Kirino. This was part of the Topicathon, but I haven't finished it, so I'm going to talk about it in my Japanese June. Yeah, I need to get on that soon because I'm planning to read 1Q84, and that book is long, so there's that. Yeah, hopefully I finish it by June. If I don't, it's gonna go to July, that's for sure. So yeah, let me know if you did the readathon or if you read any of these books. Until then, I'll see you guys till later. Bye!